So, the news just comes out, or a little while ago, I guess, that, let me turn this off, that UCLA, or Rick Barnes rather, is a serious candidate for the UCLA job. And my first thought, is like, it's just laughable. I'm to the point, Barnes is going to leave. He's going to UCLA. And you want to know why? Because Tennessee is cheap. Rick Barnes makes $3.25 million, and I've said all year, underpaid. He's the only coach at the damn university that's winning right now. Well, I mean, softball wins, but I'm talking about the big three: women's basketball, football, men's basketball. He's the only one winning. And if Fat Phil and the powers that be at Tennessee can't even make a women's hire because they're too cheap, they're too cheap to pay buyouts for UCLA or Louisville's coach. They ain't gonna pay the salary. If they ain't gonna pay for women's basketball, why are they gonna pay Rick Barnes? This is the most typical Tennessee thing you could ever hear. Do I think Rick Barnes can win a national title at Tennessee? Probably not. But he can take us to, he can get us in a place that not many other coaches can get us. The only other coach probably would be Bruce Pearl. And are we going to match what UCLA offers? Hell no. Because if we cared about Rick Barnes, he wouldn't have needed to go to UCLA and interview for the job, or UCLA fly here, either one, to interview for the job. We would have already gave him, $4.5 to $5 million. He's second in the SEC in salary, like I said, and the gap between him and Coach Calipari is like $6 million. Tennessee men's basketball can thank the ticket sales and the hype this year to Rick Barnes. Well, obviously, Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield and the players as well, but Rick Barnes, major factor in all that. In typical Tennessee fashion, they're going to let him. They're not going to keep Rick Barnes. The only way Rick Barnes is going to stay is if he's I guess you could say like Rick Byrd. Rick Byrd had multiple chances to leave. He was older, and he didn't want to. He wanted to stay. So the only way Rick Barnes is staying in Knoxville is if he thinks if he's just content where he's at. And I mean, he's getting older, but who would blame him to take what UCLA is going to offer? We can't compete with damn UCLA. We could, but we're not going to. Like I said, because all we want to do is take the cheap route. You cannot win, and I have no idea why the morons and delusional people at Tennessee haven't figured this out yet. You can't win if you're not going to be willing to pay the money. So it's just one of those things, you're like, when is Tennessee going to stop being a laughing stock? And Vols fans, if you haven't figured it out by now, it's never going to end. This is the most Tennessee thing that could happen, y'all. I swear. It's just to even hear this report is just laughable, because it should have never gotten to this point. He interviewed for the job, y'all. That is crazy to me. But like I said, Rick Barnes, just at Tennessee, he's disrespected right now by the administration, by the athletic director, and his salary shows it. He should have been paid more than $3.25 million. If Tennessee wants to be a big time college basketball program, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Kentuckys, all of those programs pay $7, $8, $9, $10 million. So if Tennessee wants to be on that level, and they don't want to be on that level, because you can already see it. So if I was Rick Barnes, I would have took the damn job. I wouldn't be getting disrespected at Tennessee. But I hope, hopefully Tennessee pays him. And if they don't, fire Fat Phil and fire the whole administration should be fired. It's just one thing after the next at Tennessee. So Phil, do the right thing. Pay this man the money. Keep him there at all costs. Pay him $10 million damn dollars. Keep him in Knoxville. And as always, go Vols. We'll talk at y'all later.